Jared, tell us about this new Dungeons & Dragons game. You got the scoop on Sword Coast Legends.
It is.
Not a great title, I gotta say.
So, Sword Coast Legends is, we don't know a lot about yet. We've got a trailer, we've got some images, we've got a QA we did with the developer, but we do know a few things about it. What we know is pretty exciting. The crux of the game is a 4-player cooperative mode with a 5th player acting as a dungeon master. And that dungeon master has real-time capability to kind of interfere with what's going on. They can help the party out as well as get in the party's way. And they keep emphasizing the fact that this is not an inherently adversarial relationship. You're acting more like, the comparison I thought of was kind of like the AI director in Left 4 Dead, except instead of being AI, it's a human being. You're trying to help everybody have a good time. If your party wants
like a true GM.
Yeah, like a true GM, exactly.
DM.
DM, thank you. Or either
Also
G or D,
a true General Motor.
Well, Game Master versus Dungeon Master, nomenclature for your particular tabletop role-playing game. But that's the tabletop experience at its best is about trying to have fun. It's a bunch of people sitting around drinking too much Mountain Dew, laughing at stupid jokes, and trying to have a good time on a quest.
That's something else.
Yeah, or something else. Yeah. So this is. This is an effort.
20-sided die.
Yeah, it's an effort to capture that feeling in a game. Will it work out? We don't know. We haven't played the thing yet. We have some nifty ideas. We know that some of the people who worked on this worked on Dragon Age Origins, for example. They're looking back at Baldur's Gate for inspiration. Some of the people on the development team are tabletop role players. They said some of the ideas for things that went into the game came out of their campaign, which I think is really kind of neat.
Is this a PC only?
This is, at this point, a PC-only thing. It's a 2015 thing. Yeah. That's what we know.
It's interesting. We know of a couple games in 2015 that sort of are taking this approach. Fable Legends is the same thing.
That's what I was just going to say. There's an obvious parallel to Fable Legends.
Yeah, where it's the same thing with the 5th player. Granted, the 5th player's role is purely adversarial.
Right.
Then there was also the game that just got canceled, the BioWare game, Shadow Realm?
Yep.
Yeah. Which was the same thing, 4v1. 4v1 has just sort of become a big thing, this asynchronous.
But it was the V, and that's what I love about this idea is that I think this might work better where you're not just trying to like drive them into the ground. Where the idea is to just make things just fun enough. And they've talked about.
And in the case of Dungeons and Dragons, like obviously it's 4v1 or a group with one sort of facilitator predates any sort of video game implementation.
Oh, sure.
Like that. So it's like there will absolutely be accusations of you're copying Fable Legends or you're hopping on this 4v1 bandwagon trend, but really it's just like sort of the most true to life implementation of Dungeons and Dragons in a digital form that we've seen yet.
The funny thing about 4v1 to me is that it's almost wholly dependent on how just intelligent or creative the one is. Yeah. Because if the one's an a-hole, then the 4 are not going to have a good time.
Yeah, especially in a situation like this.
And they've talked about how apparently there's going to be some way they're going to be able to reward DMs that do good jobs. I don't know if there's some kind of incentive system built in. They haven't said what that is yet.
They'll get an attaboy.
Yeah, maybe an attaboy, a starring system. I don't know. Experience points for when you go in.
For a second, I was like, "What's that even mean?" I was like, "An attaboy? I want an attaboy."
The attaboy. It's a new handheld console.
It's a new form.
I'll give you an attaboy.
Attaboy.
So this is it's being developed by InSpace and Digital Extremes.
Yeah.
So that's maybe. What does that tell us? These are two developers that have been around a long time. InSpace, mostly they're responsible for Mary-Kate and Ashley Magical Mystery Mall.
That was the first 4v1
Why is that the one you're going with?
Mary-Kate and Ashley Crush Course. Mary-Kate and Ashley Sweet 16 License to Drive. There's just a lot of licensed games that they've worked on.
They did Skylanders Giants, didn't they?
Okay, I was going to say, the game you're leaving off is Geist.
Hannah Montana.
Oh, Spooky House game.
Also did Geist. Tron Evolution, almost everything is licensed, and this is another licensed game, right?
Yeah.
Jillian Michaels' Fitness Adventure.
Yep. Oh, snap.
So I don't know. I don't know what.
I don't appreciate what you're doing to InSpace right now.
I'm just looking at the games.
You wouldn't describe Activision as the developer of. You wouldn't list like
of Spider-Man Shattered Web of Dimensions.
Except that this is mostly what they've made. They've mostly made licensed games.
But then you have Digital Extremes involved too, who did like Warframe. I mean, these are people with some multiplayer expertise.
Digital Extremes, and Unreal. They co-developed the original, like the beginnings of the Unreal series.
And as I said, the director of Dragon Age Origins, that guy knows probably how
Dan Tudge is involved,
I guess the big question for me is what's the benefit of playing Dungeons & Dragons in a world like this versus just playing Dungeons & Dragons? Like, you have so much more flexibility, and if you can get 5 friends together, why wouldn't you just play the game where you can go on any adventure that you want?
Two answers to this, okay? First, you don't have to buy Mountain Dew this way. Because that was a requisite we pointed out earlier.
Okay.
So you save on your Mountain Dew budget. And second, for like busy old people,
probably still want to drink Something. What if you get thirsty while you're
you
playing?
might get thirsty, but you can drink water because you're in your house. You got the tap there. You know?
What is happening? Where are you playing that you can't get water? Most D&D campaigns take place in arid climates in the desert.
Exactly. Now we're back to Fallout.
Yeah, right.
You need a water chip if you're going to drink during
but I want the real answer.
What's it? The real answer? Okay, so the real answer is that, like, we're busy old people. Some of us have kids, etc., or other things they have to deal with. You know, being able to hop on a computer for a couple hours with some buddies might be a lot easier than actually getting a bunch of you together for the 5 or 6 hours it takes to do a real D&D campaign session.
Fair.
Well, you can play this after your daughter goes to sleep. As opposed, you can't be hanging out in a game store after your daughter goes to sleep. Like
I don't know if I've mentioned on GameScoop before that I became a father recently.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought.
Congratulations.
So as a father, this appeals to me.
At least one person in the comments last week still didn't get you were being sarcastic about that. It was really cute.
Cute. Why not put Dungeons and Dragons in the title? It's just called Sword Coast Legends, which again.
Well, the Sword Coast is an area.
AD&D.
No, there's no colon. It's just Sword Coast Legends at this point.
Oh yeah, that is a mistake.
They have the Dungeons and Dragons logo on it. The Storm I keep saying Storm. Sword Coast. Pardon me. The Sword Coast is a.
It is a really well-known.
It's a Forgotten Realm setting. Okay. Yeah.
But even so, I guess I didn't even notice that it didn't have the D&D like Dungeons and Dragons : Sword Coast.
Yeah,
Legends.
like I would be interested in playing a Dungeons and Dragons game, but like the title doesn't tell me that.
Yeah, Sword Coast Legends. Yeah, I don't know what a Sword Coast is. It's just like the Pacific Northwest, but there's just blades everywhere.
Actually, it kind of is.
It actually kind of is.
Yeah,
Like Pacific Northwest.
Guys, put in my 2 weeks notice.
Yeah.
I'm going to become a dungeon dragon.
It's kind of like when you put Icewind Dale or Baldur's Gate on something, it means something to a certain group of people.
Yeah,
I do think it's more niche.
Yeah.
But that's also who they're after. I mean, if you're going to build a core for something like this is not going to draw in like a whole bunch of new people like, ooh, the first D&D game I've ever played. Not for a game where it's like, you get to be a dungeon master and create your dream scenario.
They should have just called it Diablo : Sword Coast
Adventure.
Yeah, because people like Diablo.
Or Sword Coast Legends.
It's a really good idea.
I mean, because the Diablo, he's the devil. You can't copyright the devil.
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus.
Now we're back to
Taylor
Damon's
Swift.
list again, though.
Taylor Swift : Sword Coast Legends.
Mary-Kate and Ashley, Sword Coast Legends.
No one cares about MK.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
What
Obama.
about what's the younger Olsen sister that's in
Elizabeth
all the movies?
Olsen.
Yeah, she's in all the movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, every
She's in
movie.
Every movie. now.
Yeah.
She's in
Wait,
several motion pictures.
Is she related to Mary-Kate?
Yeah, she's her younger sister.
Whoa! I love moments where someone's mind just gets blown. She looks exactly like them.
I had never noticed that.
That's because she's the Scarlet Witch and she put a hex on your face.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness gracious.
Yep.
This was like the time you told me Diddy's Conquest. And like everything changed. I saw the world in like a different color gradient.
Yeah.
Wow.